You know what time of the year it is? Mid-year book freakout time. That's what. Hey guys, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my universe, and today I'm going to be filming the mid-year book freakout tag, if you didn't already know that. What's going to happen is I have a series of 13 questions that I'm going to ask myself, and I'm going to reflect on these past 6 months and the books I have read, and I'm going to answer the questions according to those said books. So far I have read 23 books, which I'm totally okay with. So let's just get started with a bang, because the first question it's out there. Question number 1 is, what is the best book you have read so far in 2019? So, okay, this is kind of sad, but there's not a lot of books that I absolutely adored or like changed my life, but there is one in particular, and that is Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson. This book is a fairy tale retelling of the story of Neverland and Peter Pan and what happened before Wendy came into play, and I absolutely adored this book. It made me cry, it made me laugh, it gave me the whole range of emotions. I absolutely loved it. 5 stars all around. I highly recommend it if you enjoy Peter Pan or fairy tales in general. It is so well written. Question number 2 is best sequel you have read so far in 2019. Of course, this one has to go to Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This is the sequel to Renegades. I currently don't have it right now in my possession because one of my friends borrowed it and is reading it, but it is so freaking good. Oh, the 3rd book is coming out later this year and I'm so hyped for it. Guys, I can't contain this energy. Question number 3 is newest release that you want to read. So this one goes to Ghosts of the Shadow Market by Cassandra Clare. I don't own this one yet, but I am definitely planning on it because I want to read it so bad. Question number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of 2019, and this one goes to, of course, the 3rd book to Renegades, which is called Supernova by Marissa Meyer. I don't know how Marissa Meyer is going to solve everything that happens in this series because I'm just baffled, but I'm excited too. Question number 5, this is where the tea starts to spill because this one is the biggest disappointment so far in 2019. If I haven't talked about Marissa Meyer enough, then that's good because I'm about to talk about her some more. Wires and Nerve by her, I was so disappointed in because I absolutely love all of her work, and this is actually the first ever graphic novel I've ever bought, ever read. I think so highly of her writing and her stories and her characters, so I went into this book thinking it was going to be amazing, and it was actually really bland, pretty boring. There's a 2nd book to this, but I already know I'm not going to end up reading it. I was just really sad. Question number 6. I'm bilingual, guys. Biggest surprise. So this is a book that I didn't expect to be bad, but I definitely was surprised with what was in the book, if that makes any sense. For this question, I'm going to go with The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater because holy crap, you guys, I had no idea that this book was even about the supernatural. I thought it was all fantasy. I didn't realize that it had anything to do with psychics, with spirits, with ley lines that the spirits walk down, with fortune telling, with future reading. I had no idea about any of that. For the first half of the book, I was just so taken back by the amount of spirits, and just the fortune telling and stuff kind of rubs me the wrong way. So I just was really having a hard time with that. But then a second surprise hit me because the second half of the book totally I loved it so much. The characters I feel like are the strongest point in this book, and this is written by Maggie Stiefvater. She wrote the Shiver series. It's all about wolves and it's like a weird Twilight retelling kind of vibe, but it wasn't super good. So I went into this she wrote the Shiver series, but this book, this writing is like from a completely different person. This book kept surprising me. It kept me on my toes. I honestly really enjoyed it a lot. Question number 7 is newest favorite author. Ryan Groden completely blew me away with her writing in Wolf by Wolf. This book is also a 5-star. I absolutely adored this book with my whole entire being, and I just was so blown away. It's really poetic the way she writes, the way that she creates plots and mystery. This is like the first historical fiction book I've ever read ever. I usually stray away from historical fiction, but this book, oh my lordy, I love it. Question number 8, newest fictional crush. This is my favorite question on this tag ever because I just can't pick just one. This is a big struggle. Okay. I'm gonna go with the most recent book I read, which is The Raven Boys. I'm gonna say Gansey because I really like Gansey a lot. He's like your stereotypical character, except like not, because he has a lot of deep-rooted issues that he has yet to even talk about. I am definitely going to read the rest of the series because I just read this first book. Man, he's got a lot of things going for him, but also going against him. He's very flawed, and I tend to really enjoy when characters are flawed because it makes them more real and more relatable, but I love him. Question number 9 is newest favorite character. Now, first of all, I just want to say, nobody can beat Reepicheep from the Chronicles of Narnia, okay? Nobody can. Reepicheep is the utmost supreme of all characters that were ever written in literature. But you know what? I guess I gotta pick another one because I didn't read Chronicles of Narnia this year. So. But I just want to make it clear, Reepicheep, always. Love you, Reepicheep. I'm gonna say Ishmael from Moby Dick. Call me Ishmael. He's just so passionate about what he does, and he's super genuine too. Like, he constantly is always striving after one thing, and he's really dedicated about it, and he's super loyal to his friends. Like, he doesn't stray from the path. I love him. I want to sail the 7 seas now because of Ishmael. Thank you, my dude. Question number 10 is a book that made you cry, and I'm gonna talk about 2 of them. The first one I already talked about, which is Tiger Lily, but yes, this one made me cry a lot. But I also want to talk about The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is an adult fantasy book that is all about this magical circus that, what do you know, is only open at night. And there are these 2 magicians that have been training their whole lives to battle each other, but it's not like a physical battle, it's more like a display of your talents. Circus is the main outlet for this magical battle, and although this book is like the slowest book I've ever read in my life, I cried a lot in this book, and I really, really enjoyed it. This is the first adult fantasy book I've ever read, and I definitely don't regret it, honestly. Like, it's so cute. Yeah, a lot of tears were shed for both of these, really. A lot of tears. Mostly happy tears, okay? Just underlining sadness, but mostly happy, okay? Mostly. Question number 11 is a book that made you happy, and I'm gonna go with Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. I very recently finished this book, and it is very, very good. I didn't really know what to think when I first was going into it because I heard a lot of mixed reviews. I honestly really enjoyed it. I think the point of view is super cute. I love how Rachel Hollis adds so much humor to what she's talking about, yet it's so heavy. Like, the things she talks about are so heavy and relatable, and she really digs deep into what makes us who we are, and she just constantly talks about the fear that girls face and how we have to battle with all of these social implications. I thought it was wonderfully executed, and I really enjoyed it. It makes me really happy thinking about it. Oh man, girl, pick this up and wash your face. Question number 12 is the most beautiful books that you have acquired thus far in 2019, and as some of you may know, I'm totally a sucker for beautiful books. The first one I want to show you is Jane Austen's 7 novels. This is the Barnes & Noble edition. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. I've never read any of Jane Austen's books, so I kind of bought this as a way to encourage me to actually, you know, finish Pride and Prejudice. Don't just read the first 4 chapters and stop like you've done 3 times already, Miranda. Come on now. Here's another classic for you. This is actually one of my favorite classics I've ever read in my life, is Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I had to hunt Amazon for this, you guys. I think I spent like 3 or 4 days looking for this specific edition because I knew Amazon sold it. It doesn't pop up right when you type in Lord of the Flies. Like, I had to go digging. I felt like I was in the dark web Amazon, like, honestly. But I found it and I absolutely love it. It has deckled edges and just this beautiful cover. I need to read this again because I haven't read it in a long time. Since we're still on the topic of classics, I'm so sorry. I also got this secondhand edition of Grimm's Fairy Tales, and I really love it. Like, the woodsy, foresty feel, and it's super simple. Like, there's not a lot going on, it's just a forest scene, but I just think it's so beautiful. All right, for the last one, this isn't a classic, don't worry. I got the Barnes & Noble edition of The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chomsky. I love this cover so much. I can't wait to read the book, honestly. But just look, this is what's under the dust cover. I love it. You know what they say? If a book doesn't look good naked, I don't want it. Really, they don't say that. It's really just me. But you know, they're Gilded Wolves. And question number 13, which is the last question, is what are the books that you are excited to read for the rest of the year? So, I got a lot. I really want to read V.E. Schwab's A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy because I got the box set. I've heard so many good things, so I really need to get on this. Another popular series that I've never read yet, but I really want to, is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. It's such a long series, so really no promises, but it's the thought that counts, okay? I also want to read Carrie Maniscalco's Stalking Jack the Ripper series because, let's be real, it's freaking creepy and mysterious, and I'm all about that jazz. I also, of course, want to read The Gilded Wolves. We mustn't forget about them. On top of that, I started this hunk of tree a couple weeks ago, and I'm not super far because I'm reading this for a book club, but I really want to finish this. I know for sure I will. I'm just, you know, slow and steady wins the race. All right, you know, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching me talk about the books that I have read so far in 2019. Comment down below how many books you've read so far this year, because let's talk about it. I love you guys so, so much. Please be safe, make good choices, and I will definitely see you next time.